Can you guys hear me now? Guys can't hear me? Hello? I see it. The fuck? Hello? Okay, there you go. I was wondering. Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, thanks, JJ Hunt. What's going on, guys? And I'm about to answer your question right now about Charlotte Flair in 1 second. What's going on, guys? It's Crater here, back with a new edition of the World Wrestling Podcast, where I tell you everything that you need to know that happened on Smackdown Live today. And this is the Fallout Survivor Series. This is the loser show, unfortunately, because they lost all their matches except for the kickoff show match, which did not count, but we'll get to that in a second. I predicted something was going to happen. I predicted Shane Man heel turn, and we didn't get that, but we got the start of the seeds of that Shane Man heel turn tonight, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. But first things first, before we even get to review a SmackDown Live, something I just want to say. Now, earlier today, like I'll say like 8 o'clock in the morning today, I read the SmackDown preview for tonight's show, right? And up until 7 o'clock p.m. Before SmackDown went on the air, right? I read the show, and one of the main highlights for this show for tonight was supposed to be Shinsuke Nakamura. Will he bounce back from the Kingslayer's loss? And as we know, SmackDown went off the air. It's currently set 10:17, and Shinsuke Nakamura did not appear at all. For some strange reason, when it always comes to SmackDown like this, where literally at the last second, they changed their mind on something. Clearly, they had initially had something planned for Shinsuke Nakamura, but that was not the case at all. So now, the only known appearance that Nakamura has is that he'll be appearing at Starrcade because he'll be defending his United States title against Rey Mysterio. So my initial thought was he has to appear tonight to at least somewhat build that, since they're actually promoting it, but we'll get to that in 1 second. First things first, they replayed Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. As we know, Charlotte turned heel at freaking, where was it again? Survivor Series. Even though Raw won all of them, she turned heel at Survivor Series, and because of that, she had to answer, and she obviously saying she was doing her heel spill. She was pretty much saying how she was damn proud of it. If Ronda's looking for apology, she would not get it. She enjoyed every minute of it. She did it because exactly what Becky Lynch was gonna do, and then all of a sudden Paige came out, and then she tells Charlotte that she doesn't have to apologize because everybody here on SmackDown Live agrees with what she did to Ronda Rousey. However, Charlotte Flair then said Rousey in her way again, she's going to end Rousey. Then Paige again says, you see, this is the problem. You are not yourself anymore. You put your hands on 5 WWE officials. And then Paige decided to fine Charlotte Flair $100,000. Now, I don't know how much money that actually means to these people, but it's whatever. Before Charlotte could even say anything, the Iconics came out and they called Charlotte crazy and for losing her cool. And then Charlotte challenged initially only one of them to a match with Billie Kay sidestep. But before I go any further, JJ Hunt, you asked me the question of the Queen is a heel again, just like 2016 or 15. Yes, she is pretty much her heel self. What I'm assuming is happening is that WWE is testing this because it worked wonders where Becky Lynch, where they turned her heel, where the fans wanted her to be a babyface. So now it's the reverse. Fans wanted Charlotte to be, well, it's not even the reverse. It's exactly what they are doing now. They're doing this on purpose. Last time was by accident, which is why Becky is over right now. This time they purposely made Charlotte Flair a heel because it seems like heels are getting the better reactions than baby faces besides Becky Lynch, like organically. So putting her as the heel is the right move, and it's just the right moves in her character. There's some WWE superstars that you can't flip-flop them. They're either one character, and that's it. Like, for example, Triple H will always be a heel. Even though the crowd cheers him, his character always dictates a heel. Like Chris Jericho. Even though he's a fan favorite, his character always dictates a heel. Randy Orton, his character always dictates a heel. Now, what I'm more interested in is the Kevin Owens babyface run that they're probably going to do when he comes back, and they hinted at it before he got injured. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out. But at the end of the day, heels and babyfaces, sometimes you can't flip-flop them. They had to stay one person. So Charlotte should have always been a heel, like Sasha Banks should be a heel, but that's another story for another time. My personal opinion, Becky Lynch should have never turned heel, but I mean, hindsight, I mean, it's 2020. I was 100% wrong on that one, because she's more over as a heel than as a babyface. So, I mean, it worked wonders for her, and at the end of the day, I guess all that matters. But I personally would have just picked her as a face, because she is just a natural babyface. But, yeah, so there was that. So Charlotte fought Billie Kay. And Jay John, if you have any other questions, just be sure to ask them in the chat. I'll be sure to answer them during the duration of this live stream. Now, anyway, Charlotte, she actually went against Billie Kay first, and then she beat her with the natural selection, and then Charlotte Flair won. Afterwards, Flair tells Peyton Royce to get back in the ring because it's her turn. So you actually had two matches. Charlotte actually fought two matches in a row. This time against Peyton Royce. However, this match ended in DQ after Billie Kay attacked from behind. However, the number of games didn't even mean anything because Royce and Kay attacked Flair. Then Royce and Kay send Flair to the outside. Ray and Royce try to grab a chair. But for some reason, now this was the weird moment. Me and my brother actually joked about this. What is, for the past week, basically, Survivor Series, Raw, and SmackDown, what is with these no-name people all of a sudden, like, just stepping up and not fearing these WWE superstars anymore? Like, I'm so confused. Where are they getting these balls from? It's actually ridiculous. Where are they getting these balls from is freaking something. I have no idea why, and I have no idea how. So, yeah, that's actually very, very interesting for these non-commissioned people who don't have no names are doing that. But then anyway, so Charlotte Flair took both of them out for double spear. She attacked him at ringside, solidifying her heel turn. Backstage, Rey Mysterio said he is just going to be one of Randy Orton's victims. Then Miz TV. Now, as I said about Survivor Series, I could have swore that, wait, hold on, I'm reading something. Alright. Okay, talk about the Mixed Match Challenge, how it is actually important. The finals of TLC. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Braun Strowman is out of the Mixed Match Challenge. This Mixed Match Challenge has been a disaster. I'm telling you, this Mixed Match Challenge has been something else. But Miz came out. He welcomed the crowd to the show. Miz says that it was an honor to fight alongside his guest, Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon joins the Miz in the ring. Miz tells Shane that Shane's performance last week was all inspiring. Miz says that he and Shane put in all the line for their brand. Shane said that he doesn't remember much after getting swatted out of the sky by Braun Strowman during Survivor Series. Miz asked Shane to be his tag team partner. Shane's laughed. Miz said that this could be something. They could start the best team in the world. Miz says he looks at Shane he sees as a champion. Shane said he can't because he's a commissioner. Miz said he spoke to Paige and they have a match tonight against these two jobbers named the Bryan brothers. Miz beat down one of the brothers. Miz hits a DDT. Miz tried attacking Shane. Shane tells Miz he can have the pin. Miz turns around, gets put in a small package, and it's over. The Bryan brothers are victorious. Now, I did say that after Survivor Series, because they got clean, I find that ironic how they didn't even Shane McMahon didn't even acknowledge that they got clean sweeped by Monday Night Raw. For some reason, they didn't even acknowledge that. So I'm assuming, he'll acknowledge it, and then he probably had to turn heel and do something. This is clearly obvious what they're doing. Is that, hey, look, we have to do the Shane McMahon heel turn, right? But we can't just, this is obviously going to be something big that we can't just do tonight, because probably nobody's going to care, especially Thanksgiving weekend. The rating's going to be low. So what they decided to do instead, because obviously the rate this is going, The Miz is clearly turning into a face because the way he's acting, the way he's being portrayed, he's making it look like an idiot. And when you look like an idiot, you're becoming a good character. That's how WWE's logic is. So with that being said, they are clearly going to be turning Miz babyface, and they're clearly going to be turning Shane McMahon heel. So what's going to happen is they're going to become teaming up, and then eventually Shane McMahon is going to get tired of him and turn his back. I don't know how. I'm thinking, just Bronson. What's up, man? Thank you for tuning into the stream. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions about the show or any of your thoughts for the show, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will be sure to talk about it with you. So, yeah, there's that. But thanks, man, for showing up on the show tonight. Really appreciate it. And, yeah, so what I'm thinking is going to happen with The Miz and Shane McMahon, they're going to be a team. It's probably going to be for a little while. We probably won't even see nothing going on until probably, dare I say, after the Royal Rumble. Or, you know what? It could be at SmackDown. The Royal Rumble, if the SmackDown Tag Team titles are on the line on the Royal Rumble, watch it be The Miz and Shane McMahon, which is baffling because they're putting the whole tag team division on the burner for this feud, which, I mean, a feud is a feud, but it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? But this is what WWE wants to do, I guess. Regardless, though, obviously Miz is gonna turn. I mean, not scratch that. Shane is gonna turn on Miz, and what I think is gonna happen is that because due to the fact that we currently don't know where Lars Sullivan is going, and if I mean, this is just a prediction. I'm not saying Lars Sullivan's going to SmackDown because they're just saying, oh, we don't know which one he's going to appear on. What I think is going to happen is, if I were booking this, I would use Lars Sullivan as basically Shane McMahon's new bodyguard that he wastes The Miz and whatever. Like how you could solidify Shane McMahon's heel turn, but we had to see where things go. Just Bronson said in the chat, SmackDown is lackluster. I don't agree with the people settling for that Bryan promo to cover the change we were meant to get. I think I was about to just talk about Daniel Bryan anyway, so I think that works out. If I'm not, regardless, I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to respond to that. Okay, it wasn't anyway. I mean, SmackDown, the issue with SmackDown, because they have, it's so ironic because Raw is the complete opposite. The issue with SmackDown, they only have 2 hours to tell whatever story they need to tell. And they can do this on a weekly basis, but they only have 2 hours to tell whatever story they need to tell. Now, with that being said, and I actually brought this up, I don't know if he was here earlier. I brought up the fact that but before SmackDown went on, as of 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I live at, I live on the East Coast, they had the preview up on Smackdown Live on their website, and on the article, they specifically had a whole page about Shinsuke Nakamura and can he bounce back from his can he bounce back from his loss against Seth Rollins at Survivor Series. Now, I'm pretty sure we all watched the same show, right? Did Shinsuke Nakamura appear at all? No. So it's like, it's lackluster because like for some reason, I feel like SmackDown, anytime they write the script on SmackDown Live, they always have an idea how they want the show to run. It's probably going to be a good show, but it's just timing issues. And it's not going to help any matters because they're going to be on Fox next year. And what's going to happen is their asses are off 10 minutes. At 10 o'clock p.m. So it's like, it's going to be lackluster because I'm pretty sure the writers on SmackDown are probably trying their best. But they only have 2 hours to tell a story. Now, first question you have to ask yourself, is some of this stuff even important that they're even telling? For example, no offense to Asuka. I love Asuka. But was that tag team match really necessary? I get that they're, for some reason, hinting at the Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville breakup. But does anybody actually care about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville breaking up? I don't even think people even know who Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are. They know who more of the Iconics are than Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So with that being said, I just can't fathom that they are using, there's just priorities. For a perfect example, and I was actually in the next match I'm going to talk about, which is so weird, but I want to answer the other thing. You said I grew up on WWE, and of course there's alternate products out there, but we adapt to these WWE characters because as fans it's our home. But I'm struggling to keep, dude, I feel you. I've been a WWE fan since pretty much I was a kid. It's just at the end of the day, the Attitude Era, I don't know if you was with the Attitude Era, but the Attitude Era was obviously for the adults. This current generation is for the for all audiences. They have to go to all audiences. They always, it's PG, yes, but they really do try to cater to all their age demographic. Like the storyline between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, that's obviously more for a mature audience. For the kids that probably they won't understand that story, but then they have to still keep it PG because they are a publicly traded company. Unfortunately, back then they weren't a public company, so they didn't have to abide by any rules. That's why the Attitude Era was so successful, because they had to abide by any rules because they weren't a publicly traded company. But because they're a publicly traded company, they had to keep their sponsors happy. So that's the reason why WWE is the way it is now. They do certain things, not probably because they want to, but because they have freaking investors, and they have to keep the investors happy. Okay, otherwise, if nobody's investing in their product, what exact are they actually making money anymore? Because since they are a publicly traded company now. But yeah, but you guys stick, as I did. You always gotta stick with it. There's always gonna be good and bad times. Like I feel like this era of WWE now, like the brand split, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. But because before it was kind of stale, where they were the same superstars appearing on both Raw and SmackDown. Now they are allowed, with this brand split, they are allowed to tell different stories on each brand. And they are not hindered to just telling the same story. They have to do it on the next day on SmackDown. They're allowed to tell separate stories, which means much more variety. The issue is now, and what I don't agree with, and I don't know, and I understand why from a business standpoint why they did it. They ended the brand exclusive pay-per-views, right? So when they did the brand exclusive pay-per-view, it really felt something special because, again, they're telling their own stories. Now you're getting variety and stuff. Makes you want to watch the pay-per-views because, like, wow, this thing is happening on the Raw side and it's the SmackDown side. And then when they came together in Big Four pay-per-view, all that. But now they're all dual branded. So, and this is the issue, right? Because they're all dual branded, every single story has to conclude at the same time because the pay-per-view dictates that. I'll give you a perfect example. When Raw and SmackDown had their pay-per-views, let's say SmackDown, this was actually last year. This will get to my point. Survivor Series. I mean, not after Survivor. Let me say Hell in a Cell. When SmackDown had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, right? Raw didn't have a pay-per-view that month. They actually instead waited until October for the TLC pay-per-view. They actually did, as far as they did have pay-per-view No Mercy. It meant after. What I meant was after. October. So in October last year, Raw had a pay-per-view called TLC. They didn't have another brand exclusive pay-per-view until, you want to know when? February. So that means from October all the way from January, they were relying on telling the best stories they could tell on Monday Night Raw because the only thing they had left was the dual branded shows. So they busted their asses trying to tell some good stories while on the Raw brand themselves because that's all they had. They didn't have a brand exclusive pay-per-view. And like SmackDown, they have when they did the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, they didn't have one until December. So for 2 months, it allowed them to space out the stories, and everybody had enough time to do whatever stories you can want to tell because they're not relying on a pay-per-view schedule that's every single month. With these dual branded pay-per-views, it's a problem because every Raw or SmackDown, regardless of what story they tell, it has to conclude at the same time because of the pay-per-view, which is why we're getting what we're getting. And I said it since day one, since they decided to end the brand split. It was a bad idea. I mean, not the brand split, and the brand exclusive pay-per-view is a bad idea. The reason why they did it was because of the freaking ticket sales, but I still disagree with that. They should have kept the brand exclusive pay-per-views. It made things much more interesting, in my opinion. But now every month is just, again, and it's screwing over the SmackDown roster because Raw obviously always takes priority over SmackDown, so that's why SmackDown always gets less matches, which is like, again, SmackDown is always an afterthought. Because the brand exclusive pay-per-views allowed them to do their own thing, their own stories. Everything was different. But you see what happens when you do dual brand pay-per-views. Everybody has to do the same exact thing. So there's that. But I think I went way off a rant. But hopefully, yeah. I mean, I get, but I do get you, man. It's like, I know you're struggling to keep interest, but things do get better over time. I personally do feel like this era of WWE is good. What's killing them is that they just don't know what to prioritize. Like, again, where was Shinsuke Nakamura today? Even though y'all advertised them on your website this whole time and no Shinsuke Nakamura. So it's like they don't know how to prioritize what they actually want to do. Again, I guarantee you this Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville feud is not even going to be on a pay-per-view. So why are you wasting your time telling this story if it's not going to have no type of payoff whatsoever? So there's that. But hey, that's just how they act, and that's just how they are. And this is why that's why some people are like with the product, because they just don't know what to prioritize, and it's kind of sad. But let me get back on the review of Smackdown Live. I kind of feel like I went on a little rant there. I apologize if I did. We had the Thanksgiving feast fight, and see, there you go. The New Day versus the Bar and Big Show. Now, before I get into this, guys, whoever's on the stream, help me remember, because I know I'm not tripping. I swear I'm not tripping, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But on the Survivor Series kickoff show, wasn't the New Day eliminated? Right? Right. I'm not tripping balls here. The New Day was eliminated by the Revival, and the sole survivors were freaking the Usos. So explain to me, why are the freaking New Day? I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, the New Days are always freaking is hiding up the. Hold on, wonder how long Charlotte dies until her arrow car herself the woo, man. But so Becky Lynch is a face. I got you. But yeah, I knew it because Becky Lynch. I mean, I'm sorry, D. The Big Bar. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's a cool name. That's a clever name, the Big Bar. I'm sorry to get, because Becky Lynch just changed her bio on Twitter, which is very, very interesting. Wondering how long until Charlotte dyes her hair orange and calls herself the Woo Man. So it's like Charlotte again. Becky doesn't seem like she cares about what Charlotte. Becky Lynch is now a face now. They that's the reason why they did the Charlotte heel turn. They realized their error of their ways. And so yeah, that's something else. That's actually hilarious. And if we get a heel turn New Day, that'll be huge, but I'm guessing they're saving it for the right time. I mean, when the New Days were heel, they were freaking awesome. That's the only reason why they're over in the first place. But yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So you had, but my point, it was back to my point. God, I lose my train of thought when I'm ranting on wrestling. But the Usos were the one who won the match. So why are the New Day so adamant about the whole 6-1 thing? I mean, I get it, it's for laughs and whatever, but it's just shouldn't the. I'm just saying in terms of things that are making sense. I have no issue with the New Day at all. I love the New Day. But wouldn't it make more sense for the Usos to be saying this? But that's just me. That's just me. For a perfect example, where the hell are the Usos? They're the one who won the Survivor Series. The only people who won their match in Survivor Series for SmackDown Live. Where are they? But that's beside the point. They had the Thanksgiving feast fight. The 6-man tag, but it was weird. It was some fun spot. Again, the Thanksgiving's this Thursday, so they had to do something. Big Show fell on a table full of stuff. Sheamus ran over Big E. Sheamus tries to hit Kingston in the head with a turkey. Yes, I'm saying that. You're not hearing that wrong. But then Woods kicks Sheamus in the head. Sheamus falls the outside. Kingston dies off the top and hits Sheamus with a turkey. Sheamus goes find another table. Big E puts the turkey on his hand and punches Sheamus. Punches Sheamus with it for the win. Then after the match, New Day take turns dumping food on Cesaro. There was that. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what was the point of that? Because if you guys don't realize, Starrcade is coming up this Saturday, and they're actually promoting it. And actually on the show, it's the Bar versus the New Day. So I guess they were just to build hype for that. Now, is Starrcade going to be canon? Who knows? I have no idea. We'll find out on Saturday because they're actually doing it on Saturday, but we won't actually get to see it until Sunday. But now, then, just Brandon, you have a lot to say on the chat. If we got a heel turn New Day, that would be huge. But I'm guessing you're saying for the right time. Yeah, again, the New Day needs to turn back to heels. That they're not stale. Like the New Day are, they're fine. Because regardless of their baby faces or heels, they're gonna get a good reaction regardless. So, yeah, they're gonna get a good reaction regardless if they're heels or baby faces. But it's like they need to do something different. That's all I'm gonna say. This pancake thing, while it's funny, it's not clearly getting over as much as the New Day cereal gimmick that they were doing. So they just have to do something. I'm not even talking about the food. Like in general, they had to do something different. I mean, Xavier Woods is always, but as if someone turns against the other two. Probably Xavier. Xavier's a beast solo. The issue, I mean, if any, first of all, I'm not going to lie. Because it's Vince McMahon we're talking about. If anybody's going to turn on New Day, it's going to be Big E because he's the biggest person there. And he probably sees more in Big E than Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. So that's just me. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's what I think. Big E would be the one be turning heel before Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods as a heel could be cool, but it's gonna be Big E. Trust me, it will definitely be Big E before Xavier Woods. You had again. This is what I was talking about: Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Asuka and Naomi. It was a fine match. The match really needed to happen, no, because all they're doing is. They hinted at some distortion between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, even though it's been some since like Evolution. But Asuka was about to hit Mandy Rose, but Sonya Deville pushed her, so she took the bullet instead. And then Asuka was able to tap out Sonya Deville with the Asuka lock. Here's my thing with this Mandy Rose Sonya Deville thing. If this is not on pay-per-view, this is going to be a complete waste. But again, we put themselves in this position because of the freaking dual branded pay-per-views. You see what happens when you do this. Had every brand been a brand exclusive pay-per-view besides Big Sport, you best believe Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose would have been on a pay-per-view match. Because they would have been able to. You want to know why? Because it's their own pay-per-view. They can do whatever the hell they want. So with that being said, that's why. Like, again, the whole point of the brand was more superstars had more opportunity to shine. But because these stupid dual branded pay-per-views, it's the same rotation over and over again because they don't have enough time to give people at all. So because just they have to prioritize, and this is why the dual branded pay-per-views are sucking. That's the reason. That's literally the reason. All right, what else happened on Smackdown? Come on, load up my notes. Oh, the Dan Bryan thing. And then I can talk about your thing with Dan Bryan. Yeah, Dan Bryan. Dan Bryan said he committed an act of betrayal. It wasn't a week ago. It was 3 years ago when he gave up on his dream. The difference between Dan Bryan and these people is that failure is not an option. Bryan's talking about himself, and he's doing it in third person. Bryan spent 3 hours a day in a hyperbolic. I always thought he was saying the hyperbolical time chamber. I wish he would have said that. Would have been actually hilarious. Bryan had a lot of time to think in that cool metal tube. Fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you. Bryan said his comeback was just a moment to these people, but it was a lifetime for him. The therapist doctor told Bryan he just needed to let it go. Bryan calls the universe fickles. As the yes chant grew quieter, Bryan stopped fighting. Bryan said when he couldn't fight any longer, his dreams took over. Dan Bryan's dreams kicked AJ Styles in the balls. Dan Bryan's dream made him realize he doesn't need the people for anything. Dan Bryan's dreams told him that he didn't have to beat Brock Lesnar. Bryan just needed a lesson to beat the weakness out of him. Dan Bryan, the people love is dead. The yes movement is dead. All that is left is the new Dan Bryan WWE champion. The only thing that matters is that you, which was being Dan Bryan, never gave up on your dreams again. Bryan instructs the announcers to announce him as the new Daniel Bryan. So I mean, I like this. And I know you said earlier. You said SmackDown's lackluster. I didn't agree with people selling for that. Bryan promo to cover the change we were meant to get. Now, I personally, damn it, my mic dropped. Because my freaking stand is broken. So I got to keep it in the same position. Can you guys still hear me, though? All right. But, man, my mic's going to drop on screen. I'm going to see it. That was actually hilarious. But, I personally think Daniel Bryan's, this was actually a, good, I personally think it was a good move for Daniel Bryan, in my personal opinion. I personally feel like this was like they hit it out the park with this one. Daniel Bryan, not gonna lie, he was a good babyface, but things have changed since he were gone. Look at the people who stepped up after he left. AJ, why is this dropping? I knew it was gonna drop. Can you guys still hear me? I apologize. Hold up. I gotta make sure you guys hear me. Stupid mic. Because I muted by mistake. Alright, there you go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. But, yeah, his reign as a babyface. I'm saying reign as in like he would admit anything. But oh, you see they're doing a Smackdown exclusive video for Mania on Sonyville, which I had to look at later. But I don't even know what to say. It's like I really don't know what this. I'm at a loss for words personally. It's just This was the only thing that they could have done for Daniel Bryan that probably could have worked, and they actually knocked it out of the park with this promo, because now the fans have a reason to react to him. Before, they were just reacting to him because that's all they were used to with the Daniel Bryan. Just you had to cheer for Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan is our hero. But now they're actually having a reason to react to him. Now I think it was just, this is a organic thing that's happening. I think is actually a good thing that's happening for Daniel Bryan. So it'll be very interesting to see where they go with this. Is Daniel Bryan going to hold the title all the way until WrestleMania? Probably, because I think he's going to be facing a face Miz. Now, how's that going to come together? Who knows? Who knows? But it's going to be something interesting. And again, he is scheduled to face AJ Styles at the TLC pay-per-view in a rematch. So there's that, and we'll see where that goes from there. Surprisingly, I don't know why this segment wasn't the main event. This was a perfect way to end the show, in my personal. I mean, I know why, because of the whole main event thing. I know the reason why, but you had the main event, Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio. It was a very interesting match. The real story happened after the match, because Randy Orton. First of all, let's talk about that amazing RKO. Again, Randy Orton hitting the RKO out of nowhere is pretty much his gimmick. That's all he does. That's all he needs to do to get a reaction out of people to hit RKO. Even if it's a normal RKO, just hit it out of nowhere. Rey Mysterio was trying to slide to the floor to hit Randy Orton, but he slid, and then he hit that RKO. He hit it again in the ring, and it was over. After the match, Randy Orton wraps a chair around Mysterio's neck. Mysterio mask come off partially as he sent it to the ring post. Orton leaves with Mysterio's mask. Again, he took off his mask. It was something. So the question is this going to be a match at TLC, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton? We will see. I mean, Rey Mysterio is advertised for the show, so there's that. I think local advertisements were saying Rey Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan anyway. But overall, I think it was a fine SmackDown episode. Again, my only issue is, and I mean like the whole Nakamura thing, it's just in general, WWE, when you say something on your website, hopefully you would just stick to it, and then when it doesn't happen, people are kind of feeling disappointed. Not even just about Nakamura, because like ignoring the fact that Nakamura wasn't even on the show, it's just like we don't even know what you guys are doing anymore. I don't know whether to even take you guys seriously when it comes to the preview thing, because half the time it doesn't even happen. That's all I'm saying. But I think that's it, guys, for my review of Smackdown Live. Special thanks to JJ Hunt, and special thanks to Just Bonson for first time appearing on the show, or first time appearing on the chat. You might be watching the show this whole time, but thank you again for appearing on the chat. I really appreciate this conversation that we had. And come back tomorrow if you are a fan of NXT 205 Live NXT UK. I'll be reviewing that. I pretty much review all the wrestling shows as soon as it happens. So, well, mainly WWE. Just WWE, basically. I review it as soon as after it airs. So you get my opinions on that. If you want to have a discussion, I'm here for it. So thanks again, Justin Bronson, and thanks again, Jay Young, for watching today's stream. Thank you all who watched today's stream, even if you didn't comment. If you watched it, really appreciate it. As always, this is always on demand as soon as it goes, as soon as I'm done live here. By the way, guys, this was I'm about to say my old name again. I always do that. The World Wrestling Podcast, and as always, this is Crater signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.